if we ever do that again, we should always have a guest on if one of us can't do it. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Which of you are leaving the show?
No one.
Bridget,
Are
you leaving?
I thought we were doing this for life.
Yeah, we're in this for life. For life.
This is for life. This really is. This is for life. Stephen, we sent you a note earlier today saying white V-neck T-shirt. What happened? Look at him. My hippos just choked.
Is he frozen?
That guy.
I just must have not seen it.
Dude was total emoji face for a second there. Listen,
it's no excuse, but I have had a crazy week. But I can't believe I didn't see it. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. We texted you. We said white V-neck T-shirt. Stephen, get it together tonight, and you didn't. But that's okay. Next week, you know what Stephen's doing, Bridget? Stephen's looking through his messages right now, looking for.
Yeah, I'm like, this can't be true.
It's not, Stephen. We didn't send you a message. You can put your phone down.
Wow. I watched a lot of television and movies, and that was good acting, sir.
Good acting. I'm going to make a prediction right now. Oh, Eileen, who was actually in that square last week, says it's great to see Bridget back. I think she's saying that. I think she was damaged coming on this thing. I think I don't think she'll ever come back.
What did you do?
I don't know. She says it's great. She says it's great to see you back, which to me says that, she'll never come back. We'll try to get her back at some point.
Listen, I heard that she was awesome last week.
She was awesome last week.
Yeah, more Eileen. Eileen on again, Eileen, I'm going on vacation. We'll plan. We'll connect. Right?
I will tell you this. Listen to this. And you might find this unbelievable, or you might find this completely believable. I have people reaching out to me now asking if they can be on. Like, they're like, I had several people reach out to me this week saying, the next time somebody's missing, can I be the sub? I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know. We have something going on here. I'm going to make a bold prediction for you guys, a bold business prediction for you guys. And that way you guys know, you will have heard it here first. I think we are over the hump of every single person who can't do anything else in the world becoming a life coach. I think we're over that, right? That happened for a little while.
Yes.
Every single person that, couldn't do, lost their job or whatever. I'm a life coach. That's done. There is a new profession that has even a lower barrier to entry.
I can't wait for this.
Okay, lower barrier to entry, and you're going to have heard it here first. You are going to see this everywhere. You ready? I'm not kidding you. You're going to think I'm joking about this, but I'm not. Tarot card reader. You are going to see tarot card readers showing up in every Zoom, in every networking, in every group. You're going to see these. You're going to see these people coming up. Listen, I spot trends. I'm telling you right now. Everybody is going to become a tarot card reader. Bridget, what do you think?
I used to listen to a YouTuber that was a tarot card reader, just letting you know. But go ahead, Bridget.
I 100% agree with you. I mean, I was literally scrolling on Facebook today, and I saw people doing live readings. And
are you kidding me?
No, this is a real thing. And they're like, I'm an intuitive, intuitive inspiration coach or something along those lines. And I'm like, those are tarot cards.
That's tarot cards.
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Stephen, go ahead. What are you thinking on this, Stephen?
You know what idea just came to my mind? Like entrepreneur cards that are like cards that
they should make Rob Burton's got it correct. I'm predicting the future, and the prediction for the future is that it's tarot card readers.
That is so meta. That is so meta.
Unbelievable that's unbelievable that he came up with that. I'm going to say this. Here's why it's going to become popular. The barrier to entry is like non-existent.
It's literally a deck of cards. No, I'm just kidding.
It's you buy a deck of cards and you say you're intuitive and you're done. That's all you have to do. Like, you can't. There's Bridget.
Listen, I mean, they're breaking into the entrepreneurship role. Okay, I mean, I can't them for that. I mean, they're making something of themselves.
Do you or do you not have a deck of cards, Bridget, at this moment?
Bridget. Pull it out.
Listen, I may have played poker with my children last week. Is that okay? I taught them Texas Hold'em.
I think that's totally fine.
That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Either one of you becomes a tarot card reader, and you're done. You're done.
Off the show.
So here's what we need to do. The next tarot card reader that you see in any networking group you're in, because you're going to see them, The next one you see, I want you to invite them to the show, and I want to interview them. We're gonna go deep with these people.
Deal. I'll find someone.
You know, the interesting thing about and this is only my prediction, as you know, Credit Card Rob says, this is only my prediction for the future, is that I believe the new life coach is now just the tarot card reader.
They've leveled up.
I really feel like this is just going to happen. I really do. I feel like this is going to happen. So we'll see. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll remember this day where I said it. All of you watching, even now on the replay, you'll all remember. Chris Prouty said it first. But it's interesting. It's interesting to me simply because these people are becoming entrepreneurs. They are stepping into entrepreneurship. The topic that we want to talk about tonight is, how do you take that first step towards entrepreneurship? How do you, and if you are an entrepreneur, let's say you're the entrepreneur and you've still got the safety net, you've got that safety, you got the safety job somewhere, like let's say that is you, how do you then take that next step and make entrepreneurship the only thing you do? And by the way, I'm going to call people out here. I'm on a rant, guys. I'm going to stop in a second. I promise. I'm going to call them out. I don't want to hear the word serial entrepreneur while we're here talking. A serial entrepreneur is someone who can't finish something. They're someone who just keeps starting businesses. Just start a business and stick with it. I'm so cranky about it.
I see that. Man.
What do you, serial entrepreneur? The only other serial thing out there are killers and rapists. And it's like, you're going to group yourself with that. And then at the same time, you're just telling me, oh my gosh, I can't help myself. I'm starting a business right now. Oh, I just went pee and I started a business while I was in the bathroom. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm done. Bridget.
I mean, I mean, there was a lot of truth in what you just said. I mean, I don't think anyone out there is I see people like in my mind's eye, taking serial entrepreneur off of their LinkedIn titles right now.
Take it off right now.
Go on the hashtag the replay. They're literally taking it off right now. Serial. I don't want to be in that category with all the serial.
Stop it. Just cut it out. Knock it off. You're an entrepreneur. You're not compulsively starting businesses every day of the week, or you just can't figure out how to do one thing and do it really well. So stop it. Figure out how to do that one thing really well and be done with it. And I'm sorry.
You got really hyped up about that.
Sorry if I'm on a rant. I'm on a rant about that. It bugs me.
You look tanner after that rant. It must be
I'm tanner because I'm wearing a white shirt. That's all.
I don't know. That's not doing it for me. What's the deal with that? Anyway, speaking of entrepreneurship, there's also that person who's in the 9-to-5 who may be like checking in with us and going, what are those people doing? They look like they have too much fun. They're obviously not working, and they're thinking they've already come up with the vision for what they want to create as a business, but they're still sitting behind their desk and they are obviously just visualizing, fantasizing about this potential business that they could start. And they're just not, something's stopping them from taking that leap.
What is it? What is stopping them?
Honestly, I mean, anyone who's listening right now out there, what do you think is the number one thing that stops people from taking that leap into entrepreneurship? What is it? I see you entrepreneurs out there. What was it at first that you felt that you're like, you know what? I don't think I can do this. What was it? 1 word, 2 word, whatever. I like the 1, 2, 3 word things. I think it's not having the right direction or not manifesting your vision as large enough to be something you can grab hold of that will actually propel you. I see like this vision of like a giant hot air balloon. You have to have something so powerful, so strong, a vision of what you want to create that will propel you past those obstacles.
Randy says losing the paycheck. Randy, follow-up question for you, Randy. Losing the paycheck. Now that you've done it and you lost the paycheck, would you ever go back? Would you ever go back, Randy? In the comments, if you could, please let me know. Would you ever go back? And I'm talking to you, specifically to you, Randy, because I know your case. And John helps me realize that I'm not polarizing everybody here. He doesn't like that moniker either. And he's heard a bunch of people say it just as recently as tonight. So thanks, John, for chiming in and providing me with a little backup. So look at this. Randy says she would never go back. And you know what? If you're out there right now, you're sitting at that desk during the day, you've got the idea and you think, I just don't know. And you're like, all these other people, fear of failure, fear of losing the paycheck, fear of what other people think, self-confidence issues, all of that stuff. You listen to Randy because Randy's got it right. Once you make that jump, if you dedicate all of your energy to get, if it's life or death, you got to get this thing right. You're never going to go back. You're never going to go back. I'm sitting here at my desk until 1 a.m. some nights, literally falling asleep. And I would never go back to an 8-hour day somewhere. I'm spending 12, 16-hour days here. I would never go back to an 8-hour day. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Stephen, you're awful quiet.
I'm quiet. You know, like to be honest, you know, and let's be real here, like for 3 seconds. It's not your day job. It's not the desk. It's not anything for some people, but I think it might be this thing. And I'm going to pull in a Spider-Man movie quote. Ooh. Okay. So buckle your seatbelts. This I got from the treacherous Forbidden Television, you know, and, but in Spider-Man, I think it's Spider-Verse Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse or something like that. It's the animated one that came out. Incredible, Chris. You need to listen to this to Chris because I know you haven't seen this movie. But superhero movies have great themes in them, and because a lot of the characters go through personal growth in the movie, and that specific movie has a line that I love, and in it, spoiler alert, this is not really spoiling too much, but Miles Morales, the new Spider-Man, asks the old Spider-Man, "When will I know that I'm Spider-Man?" And I think that is such a powerful statement because it's like he wants to, before he even becomes the thing he needs to become, he wants certainty that he is that thing. And the older Spider-Man tells him a great answer. And he says, "You won't. It is a leap of faith." And that, to me, is it's so indicative of some of the things that we know we must do. But we question, can we do this? Are we even okay? You know, it's like we wonder, are we even this person? Are we even this thing that we need to become? And we would love it if like God or someone came down and said, "You know what? You are that thing." You know, and you knew right away, like, okay, I'm a marketer. I know I can do this. I know I can do this, and then I'm going to do it.
Stephen, I am absolutely inspired by what you said, and it reminds me that is a very common theme that we see in entertainment. But if for the Game of Thrones fans out there, all you Game of Thrones fans, please chime in with me. There is a part in the saga where one character is ready to kind of vanish into the ether, and he's going to give his powers to another character. And the other character, the old guy looks at the young guy and says, "It's time for you to become me." And the young guy says, now ready for this? This is different from the Spider-Man. The young guy says, but am I ready? And the old guy looks right at him and he goes, "No." And that's like, you know what? You people out there that want to become entrepreneurs, are you ready? No, you're not ready, and you're never going to be ready. If you were ready, you would have done it already. Listen, I'm going to be the character right now. I'm the three-eyed raven. No, you're not ready.
I don't know who's the bigger nerd, Chris or myself. Okay,
I'm like trying to follow, and I'm like, I see where I can see this. I see this. I'm going
to send you guys the YouTube link later. Everybody else look it up, but it's game of, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. The point. Here's what matters. You're not ready. It's like having a baby. You're not ready.
I'm curious where you're going with this, Chris. Tell me more.
Like having your first baby. I remember when Amy and I had our first baby. Now we're serial parents.
Now you're serial parents. Exactly.
You just keep having children. You just keep having children. But you're never gonna be ready. You have got to just take that step and say, I'm going to be okay. I just need to persist and be consistent over time. It is that simple. Absolutely. Bridget, how did you start? What was your step? Bridget? How did you step into becoming an entrepreneur? How did you leave it all behind?
Honestly, I just was willing to say yes to learning something new. to being teachable, to believing that it was really, I was capable of so much more. And at first it was really about gaining that freedom. You know, what I was saying no to in the 9 to 5, that's really what kind of propelled me at first. You know, it was okay, I don't want this. I don't want the 9 to 5. I don't want someone dictating my hours. I don't want someone dictating what I'm supposed to be doing. I want the freedom to be creative and to create how I'm going to add value to others. And so it was, at first it was that what I was saying no to that propelled me. Then it was a combination of, okay, this is an opportunity. Yes, I'm going to explore what this looks like. And then starting to do my research, starting to get curious and notice where I was inspired. When it came to, you know, coaching people, that's where I got inspired. When they talked about their businesses, I got excited about it. You know, when they talked about their relationships, I got excited about it. So that was a key factor. Notice what inspires you and then start to create a direction with that. You know, honestly, I had a gentleman reach out to me who said, hey, Bridget, well, we were on the salsa dancing floor. Most of you know the story. And he goes, hey, I think I have an opportunity for you. I want to talk more about this. No clue about what that industry was. No clue. I just said, tell me more. And then you just show up. Showing up is more than half the battle, right, guys? Showing up.
I agree.
So, go on.
You have to show up, especially at the beginning. So all you people out there who are listening, who are thinking about starting something, you show up at the beginning. You have to be just like a week ahead of everybody else. You've just got to be a week ahead of everybody else. And then you let that snowball and eventually you get it all figured out. Mark King is no stranger to entrepreneurialism. You know, this dude right here, this dude is like 5 foot 4 inches tall or something like that, but he owns a basketball team.
Pro basketball player.
He is a pro basketball player, and he owns a basketball team.
And he has a great story, by the way, of taking leaps and bounds and just like, you know, and taking that leap of faith. And I really, really, truly appreciate that, you know, and the truth is that you'll never know. You'll never know if until you begin to try. And then I think the human mind is such a great thing when you start to like put it in an unknown area in a very like, because when I got out of college, I was very much like, you know, what do I do with this creative writing degree? You know, what do I do? All the writers that I knew were either I didn't know them and they were published, or I did know them and they were struggling. And so I think I was very like scared, you know, at the time, but and so what I did was I started to go into business working as a real estate agent. And what that did was that led me into the world of marketing. And then all of a sudden I took that writing skill and applied it in a way that I never thought I would, you know? And so if you look at your skill set and look at what you love to do, don't limit it. Do not limit it. Because if I was a writer at the time and I limited my writing capabilities to writing a movie or writing a book or writing these things that, you know, that are really great, really great endeavors. However, those are kind of the cliche things that a writer does. But if I told you that every single business person out there is looking to write Facebook statuses every day of the week, well, boy, isn't that a market for a writer that I guarantee you they're not talking about in the creative writing departments in college. I guarantee that. So that is how I fish hooked some of that skill. And all of a sudden I felt very secure. I was like, man, I'm going to have people to work for the rest of my life because some of these multimillionaires don't know how to conjugate the version of your, don't really understand. It's not that they don't know how to conjugate your, it's that they want to leverage that. They want to leverage that to someone who will care about the writing and get their message. And so I think ultimately that is something that you have to do. You take your skill set, don't limit it, and broaden it into something that might really work out there in today's world.
Sonia Essential has something interesting to say about being uncomfortable in front of the camera. I think being uncomfortable in front of the camera is the most powerful thing that you can have to become comfortable in front of the camera. The energy from being uncomfortable in front of the camera means you need to get in front of that camera. You need to promote yourself. You need to push yourself, and it will become, you'll literally look back and go, why was I ever uncomfortable in front of the camera? I'd like to go. Go ahead.
Another thing to note is that just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. Oftentimes, it means that you're doing something that's stretching you. Just a side note. Sorry, Chris, go on.
You know what? And that's a great point about entrepreneurialism is it is going to stretch you in all directions because you need to become that person who can handle every aspect of a job that you've never had to handle before. You have to handle the invoicing and the collections and the accounting. You have to handle the legal stuff. By the way, Randy, can help you with that as well. She's out there. But you got to figure out all that stuff that you never had to figure out before. That is a stretch in every single direction for you. And it's that stretch that just feels so uncomfortable while you're doing it. And then all of a sudden you just settle into it. And it's like I'll say it, you have to learn to love the pain. You have to learn to absolutely, you have to be sitting there at 1 o'clock in the morning, exhausted, delirious, hallucinating, hearing voices. And you have to be just ready to just say, throw it all in. And you have to sit back and you have to go, wait a minute. This is good. This is good. This is what I wanted. You have to learn how to turn that on. And sometimes I swear to you, I have my head down on the desk right there. I'm sound asleep, and in fact, I was talking to somebody else. Some of you both know. I was talking to somebody else this week, and she was telling me that she goes into her office at 10:30 at night and lays down and sleeps on the floor for a half an hour, and then sets an alarm and gets up and works until 1 or 2 in the morning. It's insane, but you've got to recognize that stuff in yourself, and you've got to find a way to just say, "This is it. I like this. I like this."
I love that. I love what you just said, because that's telling you that you're inspired. You're inspired by what you're doing and who you're helping. That's really the fuel of the entrepreneurial life. It's that inspiration. And when you're inspired, you get creative. And when you're creative, you start to be a creator. And so it just starts to multiply what you're doing, your product, message, or service. You start to expand how you think about doing things, how you do things in general, and how you're serving the people around you. Yeah. It's like you're stretching, and it's just incredible. I love how you describe that.
Really, thank you so much. I remember the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey, and it was, ready for this, it was 21 years ago. And 21 years ago is when I started.
What?
I'll give you a moment to let that settle in.
That's how old I am.
How dare you? So it was 21 years ago, and I was working in this job. I absolutely loved it. Now, for those, pull up a chair, youngins. 21 years ago, you didn't quit a job, right? Oh my gosh, I really do sound like an old guy when I say that. 21 years ago, you didn't quit a job. Especially in technology, in internet, and all of this stuff, you did not leave a job because jobs were scarce. Eileen can chime in on that. She'll remember 21 years ago. She was doing recruiting back then. Jobs were scarce back then. Stephanie, no need for the age update, Stephanie. Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. No need. Got it. There's John. John's right here with me. So jobs were scarce 21 years ago. And I knew what was going to happen with the internet. I would sit there in meetings, in corporate meetings outside of Boston, Massachusetts, as opposed to Boston somewhere else. I would sit in these corporate meetings, and I would literally sit there, and I'd be just staring out the window, looking at the internet, seeing it all happening. I could just see it all happening. Now, listen, who could have predicted social media? Not me, but somebody else probably could have. But I could just see the use of this connectivity for business. And I'm sitting there, and it was a Thursday, and I was just like, this is my last day. And I went in the next day, sat down at the table, and while the meeting was going on, I had a disk in my laptop, and I formatted my laptop, which means I erased everything on it during the meeting. And I took the disk out, and I closed the laptop. Meeting was over. My manager was sitting right there. I took my laptop, and I just pushed it over, and I looked at him, and I said, I think today's my last day. And it was like, what are you talking about? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, yeah, today's my last day. And I sent an email to the entire company, and the email said, Today is my last day. I have enjoyed working with you. My favorite candy is the York Peppermint Patty. I wrote that because I wanted people to think I went a little bit crazy.
Don't call me. Leave me alone.
You're like York Peppermint Patty. What the?
I walked out the door. I went to downtown Boston to a place called Back Bay, which is just this quaint little area. I walked the streets of Back Bay for the rest of the day. And then I got to work that afternoon. And by Monday, I had my first client. And I have never had a down month since. I have grown every single month since. Every single month, every single year for 21 years, grown. And then Amy came on board. Amy and I met 16 years ago, and she was like totally into it. She came on board. She's part of the company, and we just rock it. We just rock it every single day. So you guys that are sitting out there, it is literally, and I remember my exact words. I think I'm done. I think today's my last day. I think today's my last day. Not today's my last day. I think it is, but I had already formatted the laptop and I just pushed it right over, and that was it.
See, sorry, I was going to observe your subconscious mind was already on that track.
Already,
like no matter what, you were like saying no, but you were going in the yes direction. And another way to, I love that story, especially about the York Peppermint Patty. I don't know, it makes me giggle. But
it is my favorite candy. Go on.
It makes sense. And there was some logic behind it. Yeah, that makes sense knowing you. But the other way to know that you're ready to take that leap is no amount of money will keep you chained to that desk to work for somebody else. Yeah. If they offered you $1 million, you would be like, I still can't do this job. You're like, there is something else within me that I need to start fueling. There's a beast within me that is hungry for more, and I need to do it now. And I just need to figure it out. Sorry,
Amazing.
that thought.
Amazing. Stephen, where were you 21 years ago?
Good Lord. I was getting ready to play live music somewhere. Probably. I don't know. I can't do the math on it really, but it took me a very long time I consider myself an artist so long that it took me a very long time to start to fall in love with business, and really came about in the way that like, I was in this world of like, where artists and business people were like very like there was almost like a line drawn down where I knew a lot of artists who were great at their craft, and I knew a lot of business people who had zero creativity, and I thought that those two worlds were very separate, and then and of course that was a cliche that over time would be deconstructed, based on the people I met, based on some of the people that I began to work with. Those two things, those molds got really shattered, but it was me kind of going, you know what, as an artist, as a creator, if I don't begin to understand business, I will never get people to believe in my ideas. I'll never get people I'll never see these ideas grow in ways that I want them to. And so that was the aha moment of me. Like, I've got to learn business. I've got to learn how the big players play with business. I've got to learn how and that was that. But really 21 years ago, I was sharpening my guitar skills. I was sharpening my creative skills. I was, doing all these things that like, you would have been like, is this person even going to like work for realtor? Is he going to work for realtors and lawyers and do all these things? Like, no, you wouldn't have thought that, you wouldn't have never thought that. But for me, that journey was just about figuring out, how am I going to get people to really love my writing and my art? And like, and it's like, if you know business, it becomes very easy.
Guys, well, first of all, I was going to chime in. I was 14 and thinking about going into high school.
Yeah. Maybe that was how that was. Maybe I fudged the numbers a little bit. Thanks.
Keep bringing it up.
But, what I love about what you said, is you were kind of describing a little bit of blurring the lines, bridging the gap between the creative world and the business world. And you absolutely have to do that. And the gift of being the entrepreneur is you do that on a regular basis. You are your own boss. You are the CEO of your life, as I like to call it. And you get to decide what your next move is, how creative it is. I love what Stephanie said. The beast awakens, you become fiercely unstoppable. As soon as you unleash yourself, allow yourself to see that you have limitless potential.
Yep.
I mean, there is really nothing stopping you. You are the number one person who stops yourself. So absolutely trust your passion, trust that inner direction that, whatever inspires you, that is very likely what you're going to make into a business at some point.
I really do love Stephanie's hashtag here, fiercely unstoppable. I can tell you from the moment I sat down at that meeting where I was formatting my laptop, like the moment I pressed the button to format it, like there's no going back. That's the airplane doors open and you just jumped out. But it was like this all of a sudden, this burst of momentum happened. Stephen, if you had to give a 15-second suggestion to anyone who's thinking about stepping into entrepreneurialism, what would it be?
What would it be? I would say probably make a list of pros. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's more than 15 seconds. That's 15 seconds. So I always begin to journal and make a list of pros and cons and write down and try to understand reasons behind things. So if you can get the right reasons for doing something, if you can really understand those reasons for doing something, I think that will be a good motivator, and I think, so it's like, and those will be your compass for like, what are your reasons for doing this? Are they very genuine? Are they very, if a reason's like, I just want to make more money, not very genuine, so it's like, have those great reasons in your pocket so you can pull them out when you need them.
I love it. That's awesome. So I'm going to say this, I'm going to give you something tangible to think about. And that is, if you're thinking about just leaving it all behind, what I want you to do, get 3 months worth of living expenses saved in the bank, maybe 6 months if you're kind of a pokey person and you're going to kind of drag your feet a little bit. Get 3 to 6 months of savings in the bank. Figure out what your entire, holy smoke, Brian Bear's got something going on.
It's coming over those big old eyes.
Brian Bear is bringing this thing to a screeching halt with his bacteria infection. Dude, I hope you're going to be okay.
Seriously.
Somebody send that guy like a disinfectant or something. I don't know. I don't even know, dude. I hope you're going to be okay.
Look at his positive mental attitude right there. Wow.
He really does. And he's unstoppable. He's hospitalized and he's still with us tonight. So listen, get 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So figure out what your monthly nut is, all your bills, all of your bills, every single one. You're not skipping out on anything. And that's what Eileen agrees. Get those living expenses and then say goodbye and start that thing that is going to dominate your market. That's how you win, is you leave it all behind and it is make or break and then get it done. Wow, this has been a crazy half hour. We've gone over time just a little bit. And Stephen, thank you so much for your great insights. I'm grateful for every single person that was here with us tonight, chiming in the chat. Those of you who didn't chime in the chat, those of you who are watching on the replay, I'm so grateful that you're here. Bridget, as always, bring us home. Give us the last word. Oh, hold on. Get rid of any expenses that you don't need, Randy says. Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a
good one. Bridget, bring us home.
It's time to level up. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys next week. All right, we're off.
That
was good.
That was awesome. What I almost wanted to share was that, who you are is really your superpower. Like, that's what differentiates you in the market. For example, I'm a coach, there are lots of coaches. There's so many different coaches, but what differentiates—
I'm a tarot card reader. There's lots of tarot card readers.
Sure, lots of those.
Tarot card readers. But, one of the best, I told you guys this, the best advice I ever got was that my business partner said, Bridget, I said, what am I supposed to do here? I don't understand this market. I literally was learning on the fly. And he goes, just be you. That's crazy.
So, hey, listen, the York Peppermint Patty is my favorite candy. I really dig tonight. I really dig tonight. I like the conversation tonight, but you know what I really like tonight is like the interaction. Like I'm so grateful for everybody that was here.
I know.
Always.
Me too.
What are we gonna do next week?
Me too.
Hold on.
Me too.
I swear, all I can think when Bridget does this is Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Like all I can think of is like,
I'm not even all the way back.
That scene.
Stephen, are you using your new microphone?
No.
Stephen, we've got to get you a better background. Bro.
No, we're gonna. My background's gonna be fixed very soon. I think.
I'm gonna help you with your microphone. Hey, hold on.
Yes.
Somebody, guys, are we off the air? I thought I took us off.
Are we not off? Are we not
I
off?
thought they took us off. Hold on. Somebody says you're not. Somebody says you're still on. I have a couple people in the chat saying you're still
If
on.
we're still on, we're staying live for the rest of for a 24-hour live. We're going live for 24 hours.
I'm gonna go look at your screen, see if we're still on. Can somebody hear us? Are we still on? Stephanie says no. Are we still on?
Brian Moore goes, "You're still on. You're still on. You're still on. You're still on. I got it.
On. I see it. You're still live.
Whew, well,
Click it, Chris. Click it.
Look at this.
We're gonna go. We're
I
gonna
thought I
go.
got
We're
us
gonna go as
offline.
long as people.